We have a very rare Spyral sighting for you today. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys do not miss out on more awesome content. Holy crap. Now this is a massive change from the voiceless voice tyranny that we saw last week. I feel like is the best way to say this. Fire King has a huge hold on this top cut, being the most representative here with 5, which I think is fine. Rescue Ace, following it up with 4, which is pretty normal. And then we have Snake Eyes with 3. How many fire decks can you spot in the top cut? 5. Because you literally follow it up with Infernoid, and then it looks like Salamangreat down here. And then you have Melodious. Melodious has been a very, very interesting creature to watch unfold with what this deck actually can do, because a lot of people initially, including myself, were like, this deck doesn't really seem like it has, much of a purpose in the way that it plays, but it's been having some pretty interesting turnover results here. And then we had 2 Lightsworn. I mean, it doesn't matter if Lightsworn's good or not. People are still going to want to play it. Then looks like we had Hero, Ubel, Spyral, one I don't recognize, Valance, Chimera, Novox, only 1. We went from such a high representation of voiceless voice last week to 1. We also had Runic, Centurion, looks like Tri-Brigade, Purely Flaunderies, Ohime and Friends, Fallen of Albaz, and it looks like Spirit Charmers as well. Somebody actually chose to play Spirit Charmers into this event, which is actually kind of crazy to think about, you know what I mean? Like, it's not exactly my first pick to kind of challenge the meta out here, but if someone's trying to mess around with it, I mean, it seems like it could potentially work out at the end. So, okay, I like what I'm seeing. Now, all good things must come to an end. We shift on in to your top cut, and your top cut is very, I love when they do these 7-seaters here, because it's usually got to do with the ratios and who's left at the end. But we had 2 Fire King sticking around here and doing its thing, and we also had 2 Snake Eyes. So in terms of your meta, I mean, it's here and it's in full swing. Now your challengers here, Fallen of Albaz managed to get 3rd place. I'm not all that surprised about that, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like that's a normal day in the office at this point. I see that we also had Voiceless Voice still dominating the competition here. And then we still have this mysterious Spyral deck that spiraled out of control here and actually was a top contender for this event. I cannot tell you the last time I saw Spyral make history, but okay, now let's pass on over to deck list. So winning our event here is our arch nemesis of the format, Snake Eyes with a little bit of sauce on the side. Now, you do see, hey, we have Heavy Storm in here. I've not seen that in a while. Okay. See the double Delta and the Gamma. Yet again, I'm loving that, man. The fact that we have come so far that we're seeing, history kind of repeat itself out here with it. And you do see that we're playing Mega Pobbler in here as well. But, okay. In fact, the Mega Pobbler actually gets a chance to see plays pretty good. Double talents, 1 field spell, one there can only be 1 feels like a kind of interesting new addition to it. But I mean, hey man, beaming out a free Ash from your deck without having to commit a normal summon to it, I mean, seems pretty good to me. It just kind of depends. And then we do side the Dramatic Chase down here as well. So you got your ratios pretty set up for this. Next up here, this is our Fire King deck. 1 cross out, 1 talents, double Fire King out. I've had my fair share of people trying to push, you only need 1 Fire King Island in these decks. I don't know, man. I think 2 works out. Once again, hey, look, double Delta on the 1 driver. Yeah, this OCG trend is really sticking around out here. just once again being able to blast your opponent's search card without having to blow like an ash or something on it, and be able to save the ash for something else. Like Delta gets its mileage in where it looks like it needs to here. We're also citing double strike. I also like how you see the Feather Duster and the Heavy Storm. The fact that Feather Duster and Storm are both simultaneously seeing play right now to kind of clean up a lot of these problematic things is good. Still to see the one Skyburn extra deck pretty normal, I feel like, at this point. Gotta love all the blue cards that are actually doing their job. Okay. We also have Fallen of Albaz, Gimmick Puppet, Expulsion, handed over to your opponent. It still amazes me that through everything that we have seen in the meta out here, the fact that Expulsion has dodged infinite bans in the OCG and still is one of these cards that, they get the chance to play is crazy. Look, we also have Solemn Scolding down here as well. Hey, you know what? You can go ahead and Expulsion lock your opponent and have the good value set up on the back burner here so you can, I guess, protect yourself. That doesn't seem too terrible along the way, I suppose. Once again, Feather Duster and Heavy Storm. It's so interesting to see that, Feather Duster and Storm have both become just side deck cards. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about them. You just opt to put them in the side and just cruise control it on along as if nothing ever actually happened. Okay. Nothing else really too crazy to say about this. Now we have our Spyral pile here. Now, yes, they do have Master Plan. Master Plan is the best carry for this, but they're also playing the Monster Reborn in here, or the spell card Monster Reborn. The fact that this build is playing two of those is hilarious. Maximizing on the Spyral traps, you do see that we're doing some pretty heavy Code Talker stuff in here, which I think feels nice. We're actually not doing any Machine Dupe plays in here. Oh, actually, I think just one drone, one quick fix. That's so weird to me. But I guess I understand ratios. We're doing one field spell, one copy of the Sarcophagus. Those are your ratios. That is weird. But okay, so I guess this is your evolution that you have to take with Spyral to kind of challenge the meta. Okay. Next up here is Melodious. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this Melodious build didn't do so hot. Actually, it was pretty bad. But the reason why I wanted to showcase this was, no matter how bad the deck can be, you can at least take a look at the concept and the idea and see, oh, hey, so this did not work out for them. And I mean, Melodious, like I've been on the record saying on this channel, we have seen successful builds. Just because one build does not do too hot at one event does not mean that with a couple modifications, you can't see this bad boy evolve into something a little bit more challenging for a future competition. That's what I'm getting at here. I don't know what I would change to this because I'm not the most expert in this deck just yet. I'm actually kind of curious to see how this deck will continue to kind of do its thing, but okay, good stuff here. And then we have Lightsworn. This build also didn't do too hot today, but that is the luck of playing the RNG machine, right? Like, if you're choosing to play Lightsworn, you're taking a risk for the terrible mills that can come with this deck, but you can also take the risk with the high rolls as well, and you can get there. I do see this build is playing Prohibition. I feel like that's something that you kind of have to play out with a lot of these builds. You need to be able to make sure that, whatever threatening card you think your opponent has, you Prohibition that thing, you don't have to deal with it. That's the key to success out here with this. I do see, of course, the one Shay Ren. We're still playing double Fairy Tale Snow. I think in previous weeks, we saw people trying out triple Fairy Tale Snow. I also feel like this deck needs to play Card Destruction. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like you can get some of the worst possible hands with a deck like this. And, Card Destruction just makes it all kind of go away. But this duels also loves the Sharks, man. Like, okay. Now, last here is some Rescue Ace goodness here. Keep in mind, Emergency is still limited to one in the OCG. They have to kind of figure out what they want to do with a deck like this, kind of get things going, but you do see the triple Bonfire in here, getting things started. One Promethean Princess. Side deck, you have double Change of Heart, Feather Duster, and the Challenger Heavy Storm. Holy crap, man. And of course, the Power of Soul releases kind of help you out with your way, but I feel like this is the standard right now for this style of deck. So, am I surprised to see this do good? No. You really shouldn't be either. I feel like it's a normal day in the office for this sort of stuff. So, what do you think about today's Next Play Breakdown? Please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.